Hello everyone and welcome back to HERORC. I'm Robert and it is about 2 hours into the next day. It's about 2:33 in the morning. I am still up and I have got my RGT 4x4 Cruiser V3 in the video. I've put bigger tires on it. Not expensive tires, cheap tires. I put the same wheels back on it, and I put weight in the front. I did a run off camera without weights in the front, and it did okay. It did much better than it did with the original wheels on it. I had to trim some of the fender off around the edge here so that I still got a little bit of rubbing. And I will see what I can do about that later on. But I raise the shocks, trim the fenders all around, raise the shocks all around, and adjusted the shocks to give it a higher riding height. But in my earlier video, I said I saw an inkling of potential in this vehicle. And I said tires. And I put tires on it. I made the run without the weights, and it did halfway decent. A lot better than it did before. And it is making me want to take it outside on my outdoor articulation course this morning. You know, because I'm excited now. Something that I did to change the performance of the vehicle to improve the performance of the vehicle gets me excited, you know. And about the only other thing that I could think that I could do to this vehicle to make it better, I mean, there's several things, but cheap things. No, I wouldn't say it was cheap. Longer links. Let me just go ahead and say it. Longer links to push this, to make the wheelbase wider so that it wouldn't rub. And that would give it better performance over my indoor articulation course. And probably put weights in the rear. But the motor and transmission has to go. I mean, that would be the ultimate upgrade that would make this vehicle off the chain. Ultimate off the chain. I'm telling you. Because I saw the potential in it, but I wasn't quite sure. You know, just as I was just going by the little inkling of knowledge that I have of these vehicles. Because, you know, there are guys out there, RCT&T, the dude has massive knowledge of these vehicles. I mean, he could transform anything. And then, you know, he knows how to make parts and all of that. And then another one is Crawler Canyon. He has massive knowledge of these vehicles. But that's, you know, neither here or there. But it just gets me excited to know that I am gaining that knowledge. You know, I have always loved cars, always. And, you know, I've got a few vehicles out there now, full-scale vehicles, that, you know, I thought I'd purchase and on a good deal and fix them up. But that is a lot harder. It is a lot harder and a lot more expensive. So probably what I'm going to do is get rid of a couple of them. I've got 3 that I purchased at good prices. And I've got 3 of them. 2 of them are Cadillacs. And I think I'm going to get rid of the 2 Cadillacs and keep my convertible Ford Mustang, because that is the easiest one to work on, and there's parts galore available. So I'll probably sell those two and invest them into my crawler hobby, and then that way I feel like I could probably blossom, you know, from that, because those cars are nice. The 97, it has under 100,000. It's getting ready to turn 100,000 miles. I paid $1,900 for that vehicle. And then I have a 1990 Cadillac, and they're both DeVille's. One is a 2-door, one's a 4-door. They both have tops on them. One has a leather top, and the other has a canvas. The 2-door has 127,000 miles on it. I mean, people go out and buy cars way newer than that and pay thousands of dollars for them and wind up regret. Depending on who you bought them from, they wind up regretting, because I'm just going from people that people that I've talked to. But I'm probably going to get rid of the 2 caddies, and the reason being is because that makes both of them make somebody good daily drivers. They got to get the air conditioner fixed on the 97, and it has oil leaks, but aluminum blocks are known for that. But they will get you. I've been driving it now for 4 years. It had 80-some thousand miles on it when I bought it, and I've been driving it now for about 4 years, and the AC went out on it. And that's the only reason I'm not driving it now. The 90 needs a water pump. I mean, it started driving not very well, so I started messing with things. Somebody told me it needed a fog blower or something on it, so I changed that. And in order to change that, I had to take all the fluid antifreeze out of the vehicle, right? So I took the antifreeze out, got the blower on, put the antifreeze back in the vehicle, and fired it up. And before that antifreeze reached that water pump, it was running perfect. It was quiet and everything. And then as soon as that antifreeze circulated through that water pump, it started making a noise that it was making before that made me, change the blower on it. And this was a mechanic that told me that it was a blower. But it's the water pump. I have the water pump. I just need to put it on. But Cadillacs are very difficult to work on. Even the 1990 and the 1997s. But I want to put the water pump on it. Get the air conditioner fixed on the 97. And I'll put the water pump on the 90. And get the air conditioner fixed on the 1997. And I'm going to put them up for sale. I should be able to get at least about $10,000 for both of them, and that's a lot of money to dump into my. I'll take care of a few things that I need to do to my Dodge Ram, make it like brand new, because it's a 2011, and it just getting ready to turn 70,000, or it already has. I mean, just if it did turn 70,000, it's barely over 70,000, not even 100 miles over 70,000, but. There's a few little things I want to do to it to make it, perfect again. And not much, maybe about $1,000, maybe $2,000, and I can make it perfect again, like brand new. I mean, 70,000 miles. It's been mine since brand new. I pulled it off the lot at 82 miles on it. So I've had it since then, and that's my vehicle. And I haven't had any issues with that thing other than recall. The bolts in the manifold came out, and they told me that they were cheap bolts, but they didn't do a recall on it. So I went on and had to pay for that. It was about $600, but that vehicle is awesome. I mean, it's powerful, it's fast, and it has the Hemi in it. So I'll probably never get rid of that one. And then I do these little tweaks to it that I need to do. It'd be like a brand new vehicle. I've put new shocks on it, brakes all the way around it since I've had it. And I don't drive it that much, as you can tell with that, that few miles on it. But that money that's left, I will dump it into this hobby and enjoy it to the max. That will be like living a dream come true. I found something that I really enjoy, I really love. It makes me happy. It brings back my youth. And these cars, and those of you that are into it know what I'm talking about. These cars, these RC cars, are like miniature real vehicles. Because, I mean, you can change everything on them, from the bumper, from the front bumper to the rear bumper. You can change you can custom, you can make them you. And that's another thing that I love about it. And then the technology today, you can get performance that just blows your freaking mind. And I also want to mention, before I go to the articulation course, and probably outside after this at almost, it'll be 3 o'clock in the morning, that this hobby is just not for men. Women, by watching video, there are a bunch of women that enjoy this hobby. If you I watch YouTube, and if there's a lot of vehicles involved in that video, you're going to find at least 1 or 2 females driving a vehicle in that video. And I think that spouses that get into it, is just beautiful. That is a connection. That is something that keeps them together. But my wife, all she cares about is the money aspect of the hobby. And that's not guaranteed. So for me, the joy and happiness is first. Money comes second. And I will not, even if I start to make money off of it, I will not, because the way our life is right now and the way it's going, I don't have to make it, a option. Well, it'll be an option, but the option will be not even an option. It'll just be fun. It will not be an option as far as finances goes. It will be a hobby and fun. And I will start paying YouTube, here in the next few months, first of the year or so. And if it doesn't pan out, I am not going to give them my money. I will just continue doing what I was doing before. I will not continue to give them money if they don't, get me over 1,000, at least 1,000 subscribers. If they don't get me that, I'm not going to pay them. I'll just go back to doing what I was doing before, because it's not a necessity. So with that said, I'm going to take this over my indoor articulation course, take the RGT over my indoor articulation course, and maybe outside, but the outside one will be a different video. So I will see you on the flip side. All right, here we are back on the flip side with the RGT.
Oh, yo, good driving. Good driving. Good driving. Good coaching and good driving.
I'm trying to get a light situation that I like. That's cool right there. That'll work right there. All right, here we go. Over there, articulation course with the 1.9s on the same rims with weights in the front. Fenders trimmed as much as I wanted to trim them right now. Let's see what else. Got the original bead locks on it. And here we go. I will say right off, as we get started here, that I do not like the motor and the ESC. And it is a 2-in-1. And I don't know how I would be able to put a motor in this vehicle without changing out everything. And there went my Red Ryder to the floor. See, it still wants to, but it drops once those tires start to grab. And if you watch my last video, this vehicle did not even make it this far without the hand of God at all. So that really makes me feel like I halfway know what I'm doing. But the motor and ESC needs help for sure. But, you know, I don't think, and they put rock cruise, I don't know what rock cruiser means, but, you know, it has rocks in the picture. You know, it makes me think of rocks. But this vehicle with the motor and ESC was not designed for rocks. You know, trailing, yeah, but rocks, no. But you see how it's performing now. It's doing a lot better with bigger tires and just weights in the front. Made it all the way over the course. No issue. And I will have to say that I did do an off-camera run with both hands. You know, no camera in one hand. I use both hands for the remote, and I am driving better now. That's crazy. With one hand. And there's my box. There's the mystery box. I had somebody, when I had my Axial, getting ready to open it, and I just showed the box, and somebody sent me a comment, "It's just a box." I told them, keep watching. That was probably about 2 months ago. You know, there's always going to be critics out there. Always. You know what I mean? But you don't do it for them. You do it for yourself. You know? You don't worry about the critics out there. Because there's always going to be some. Always. I'm not going to call them critics. I'm going to call them haters. They're haters. All you haters out there, beware. RC, our hero RC is coming. And we coming with power, baby. We coming with power. Not bragging, just keeping it real.
That's it, man. Yes, I do.
Fail or not, I'm coming with power. I think I've already come with power. You know, just the first 6 months that I've been in it, and just having fun at it. Well, when I first started out, I was asking people to like and subscribe, and then I started to understand the industry and how it works. So I just decided that I would just do it for fun. I don't, you know, until I can get my stuff together. But you see how this vehicle has performed with just the bigger tires and weight in the front tires. I think if I put weight in the back tires, it would do even better. But this deserves the after run rub for sure. And if I can figure out a way to put a nice motor in it, you know, without having to change the transmission, I will. So I will be doing some research on that. And like I said, it has potential, and that tells me that my other one has potential too, and it's a Land Rover. It's a 110 scale, but it's a small 110 scale is what I'm going to call it. But folks, there you have it. The little tweaks that I made to this vehicle just made me see even more potential. Just got to find, you know, do research. And like I always say, people, much more to come. Thank you so much for watching. And if it's not a problem, click that little thumbs up button for me. That would help me a lot. That will help get me out there before I even start paying YouTube. Take care.